Joined by Michigan State head coach Jonathan Smith. Coach, thanks for so much taking time out of your busy week.
Yeah.
We got game week now. I don't want to ask about how excited you are because every coach is going to give sort of the same answer. But do you have a game day tradition before you go to the stadium that you get ready for?
Oh, you're always looking at kind of a checklist of, think about possibilities for the game. I do like to kind of digest that. I enjoy the Spartan Walks tradition around here, home games, to be able to get one, the energy from the fans, seeing our players interact and getting focused that way.
You're a West Coast guy through and through. You were born in Southern California. You went to school in Oregon. All your jobs up to this point were in either the Pacific or the Mountain Time Zone. So taking a leap to the Big Ten country into the Midwest, a bit of a leap of faith there. How have you adjusted, maybe not only in just the coaching job, but just life in general?
It felt like it adjusted well. We've enjoyed it. Just talking about, this town, the community, the university itself, all that has to offer, and being part of that has been great. And on the family side, schools, the day to day, I've enjoyed, the players getting to know high school coaches in the state in particular. That's been something I've appreciated. So it's been a great transition. Excited to be here.
We come from the Pac-12 country, which is maybe a different flavor of football. Is there anything that you learned over the last year about Big Ten football up and close?
Yeah, I mean, it's competitive. There's no question. You talk about the depth of rosters, the physicality of the game. There's some big time coaching too. Not just great players throughout this conference, but there's some elite coaches at the same time. You talk about schematics, and you got to bring your A game week in and week out, or you'll get exposed.
One topic that always gets brought up when you bring up any kind of program is the quarterback position. Aiden came over with you from Oregon State and got his real taste of college football last season. How have you seen him develop, and what do you talk to him about being a former quarterback yourself?
Yeah, I mean, he got a year under his belt of being a starting quarterback and what all that entails, the ups and downs of it. Really got a bunch of respect for him, how he handled it, how he went back to work, continued to compete. Watched him, his numbers reflected, improved throughout the year, first 6 games versus the last six, and just in his stats. So there's a lot to take away there and then build on it into year two. um, the ups and downs. There's a lot that goes on in college football. Starts and ends oftentimes on the quarterback, but there's a lot in between that. We felt like it's our responsibility, coaches wise, to make sure we're surrounding him, creating some more competition at some positions. And so, say all of that, really look forward to see what how far he takes this thing this in year two.
One of the guys that he's going to be throwing to is Nick Marsh, who really just emerged on the scene as a freshman last year. You've worked with some really quality wide receivers back in your day, even through to a couple studs yourself, TJ Husmanjada, Chad Johnson. You worked with John Ross. How is he compared, and what's his ceiling look like?
Yeah, his ceiling's really high, and it's not just about his talent because he's definitely gifted, but his work ethic, his attention to detail. He knows he wants to continue to improve his game from being a true freshman last year, and what that looks like. I look at it the way his attention to detail, studying this playbook, of being able to move around, right? Not just be on the outside the entire time, left and right, move him inside, motion, recognition of coverage, and adjusting his route. He's taking his game to another level in that regard.
When we talk about college athletics, it's just a constant battle of having to upgrade facilities and NIL, all of this. You have a new athletic director in Jay Batt. What kind of conversations have you had with him in terms of what you need to continue to get this program headed into the right direction?
Yeah, I mean, similar to what you say is we're always looking to push the envelope and how we can continue to improve. And Jay, looking at his background, where he's been at the last couple of stops for him, and looking particularly at the football programs, and he's got some innovative ideas, understanding that yes, as you continue to resource and fund that, the expectation will be that the football continues to improve and be quality, and we're on the same page there.
This program hasn't been to a bowl game since 2021. I imagine that's one of the goals that you have for this upcoming season. What other team goals do you have for this year?
Yeah, we're trying to win. Every time we line up, we're going out to win. We do talk about wanting to play our best football at the end of the season. If our approach, our process is right early on in regards to improving week in and week out. But yeah, the expectation is to prepare to win week in and week out and get to the end of the season playing our best football.
It might be a bit of an unfair question, but is there a name after camp that you recognize and the staff recognizes that we're going to be talking about in December.
Yeah, it's always tough. I do think I just look at the body of work throughout fall camp. I think Jordan Hall is primed to have a really good season. What he's done, not the linebacker position, the leadership he has shown. Makai Frazier, I think the way his back half of training camp, made a lot of plays that way. We mentioned Nick Marsh already. I think the stage is set for him to have a great year too. I could keep going, but those three, stand out.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Coach. Appreciate the
Yeah,
time.
appreciate it.